right, take two. We had a false start there. We're going to go again. So I got my bourbon. And I got my best golf bud here, Mashy. How you doing, bud?
I'm good, my friend. I'm good. How are you? How was your week?
It was somewhat busy. I'm glad it's Friday. I'm glad I can sit and have a drink. I'm glad I don't have anything early tomorrow, so I can relax. Steve will have some time to get some editing done and give out a great show, because next week's going to be a big question mark on whether we're going to have a show or not. So
yeah, we got some scheduling conflicts next week. You are going to go try to mortgage or not lose your mortgage.
Yeah. I'll be in Vegas next week for our sales kickoff, which is great, but they just keep us very busy. I leave Sunday morning. I get back late Thursday night, and then Friday next week I have a golf. It's not a tournament, but you got your golf buddies. I have 12 guys that we golf with a lot. Any given weekend, we send a text. Who's golfing Saturday? And who's golfing Sunday? So we have our golf trip that we do in September. We all go, but Friday is like one of our big events of the year. We all go to the local course. We call it the Invitational.
I like it.
And it is based on handicap. However, for every beer you drink, it takes a stroke off your score. So you can
for every beer you drink, you lose a stroke.
Yes.
So the more beers you drink, the lower. Yeah, but in reverse, the more you're gonna swing. Yeah, I hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's Friday, and then we have those same guys. We have our fantasy football draft Friday night.
Oh,
that's a very long day.
Yeah, it is. That is.
And
there's not a lot of recording in that week.
Well, then we go to the lake on Saturday. Now I could record from up, and that's where we're trying to figure out, if you can take a look at courses, and maybe we can get together and do a recording. So we'll touch base next week. We'll figure
maybe we bring a guest on to help do the show next week. Since maybe we'll bring someone on to help. We'll
help review some courses and
Yep, I love it. Sounds good. Well, good. Yeah, I had a normal week, nothing crazy. I am single dad today and tomorrow. My wife is out of town for a sales conference, not a work conference, not sales. Yeah. So it's kind of fun, just me and the kids and that kind of stuff today and tomorrow. So it's nice to record on Friday.
How old is he?
He just turned 8.
Okay.
Yeah. And my daughter is 16, and like we talked in a previous episode, driving. And now it's funny now that she's got her license and school has started, the amount of time I've seen her has decreased immensely because she just gets in the car and goes. And
and you start to appreciate that time. And what's great about kids at that age is you can talk to them now.
Yeah.
But they don't want to talk to you anymore. But you can at least have like real conversations with them, which is great.
My daughter is great at wanting to talk, and she is probably my best golf buddy, next to my best golf buddies. But she is all in. I mean, she actually, I think I might have mentioned this in the past, but her season, she's on the varsity girls golf team, and her season is spring. Girls golf in high school is in the spring.
Okay.
So because of the high school rules, I assume they're everywhere, but here in Colorado, she cannot practice with the boys team, which goes in the fall, because she's not on the roster. So she can't be coached and she can't be part of it because she's not part of the team, except if she's the team manager. So she's physically on the team as the team manager. And so she's practicing and doing all that stuff like she wants to do, which is great. And that's all legal. It's all legit. It's all above board. But she comes home every day and we talk golf. And it's great.
That's cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. So, Friday night, and which means, I don't know about you guys, but we're having a drink.
We are having a drink.
Yeah. And I'll go first because I think you have a better. I have something that I am drinking bourbon tonight. No beer for me. I am drinking bourbon. This is something I had on the show before, which is the Southern Tier bourbon, which is a local, which was okay. So what I'm doing to make it better is I've been using, my smoker. So if you see me, halfway through the show doing this,
love that.
I am not taking a bong yet. I'm just smoking.
So let me ask you: are you advancing the slides? Because I'm still on the title slide.
I am. So maybe
I still see us on the title slide.
You still see us on the title slide. right, so we got that fixed.
Yep.
So
Perfect.
yeah, so if you see me, doing this, lighter thing, no, I'm just it's my pecan wood,
And
being
if
flavorful.
if your shirt goes on fire in the middle of the show, it's okay. He's smoking his bourbon.
Yeah. Now, one thing's for sure is that this ice cube is not going to last me, so I might have to abandon mashing at one point of the show and get some ice. And since I have my headset, you're going to hear the ice clinking in the background, so you're going to know when I'm going to
I need to go buy a wireless headset so that I can actually start doing that, because I think I brought enough for the show, but I'm wired in, so if I forgot one time and I got up to go get something, forgot I was wired in, I think I yanked my head off my neck one time.
My company makes these headsets, but they're deck headsets. I can walk and go get the mail, and it still stays connected. It's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. Now that we're big time, we got the $100 in.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we need to start looking at like the full boom setup with the mic here and the pea popper in front of the mic, or whatever.
The fuzzy mic. Everyone always says that my instructional videos are ASMR, so maybe we can start doing some ASMR during the show.
ASMR stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking my little gaming headset. Maybe my mic is, maybe that's why it makes me sound the way I do. I don't know.
Yeah. So I guess this is the first segment that we've retired the bourbon fund tracker because we hit our goal of $100. So
yeah, we did. We did.
So we'll have to come up with something else in there.
We'll have to have a party when we get a check, and then
yes,
we'll definitely share with what we're doing with it.
I did find out we're not getting a check. It will do a direct deposit into my checking account.
So when hey, y'all that are watching, when I'm here by myself and he's flown the coop to Cancun, he took the $100 and ran.
But I'm the one paying the taxes on it too, though.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so make sure you take that 82 cents out. I mean, you are in the top tax bracket, so maybe
yes, it was going to be more like 35%, but
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. But yeah. So I was really looking forward to taking a picture of the check with the Google or Alphabet logo on
it. Or an Alphabet logo.
I don't think it's happening because I went in. There's a whole other area you go in for that, and it's you had to link it to a checking account. I'm like, oh.
So the modern version of that would be just take a picture of your online bank statement that shows the deposit.
We'll do that. Yes, we'll do that.
So I have a new one. So I have a problem and I have a new one. The problem is
you have a drinking problem.
Well, maybe, but my local liquor store. This is completely first world problem, but I have a liquor store that is literally, a couple of 6 irons from the house. It's not far. It's in the little town center here. And everything distance in our house is by how far the club is. Our golf course are 3 drivers away. Our liquor store is 2 6 irons away.
My bedroom's like a little lob wedge up the stairs.
Little lob wedge up the stairs, yeah. So the problem is I went there tonight to go pick up something new, and I have officially gotten the last bourbon on the shelf that I haven't talked about on the show.
Oh, no.
I was checking out, are y'all gonna get some new things? They're usually pretty good about getting, they're well, we gotta sell what we got first. I'm like, you can speed up getting some more stuff. So.
Do you know who I am?
Do you know what we're doing here? Come on. So I'm gonna have to, I'm using my Eli high voice. Come on, don't you know? So I'm gonna have to find a new liquor store that has a broader selection. But I did bring a new one to the show that we have not talked about. You know me and bourbons, and these are I like my local small batches. So this is another Denver. Yes, we have another distillery here.
It's all about the water.
It's all about the water and the hops and the corn. This one is, and this one I've had this before actually, and I don't know how popular. I don't know if it's out. I've had it for events that are local here. I've not gone to Seattle and had a bourbon but this is a Tin Cup Mountain Whiskey.
Nice name. Yeah.
Okay. Now, you would think Tin Cup being golf perfect, goes with the show, everything's great. It's not. It's actually named after the mountain town up in the mountains called Tin Cup.
Oh.
And that town was named after the little tin cup that the miners would drink their bourbon out of, their whiskey and their bourbon out of.
Okay.
And it comes on the bottle, so you actually get one of the Mountain tin cups as part of the bottle. So it is very good. It's a wonderful blend. They bring some Indiana mash with some Colorado water, and they distill it here, and local corn, and blah blah blah. It's very, very good, and it was $28 a bottle.
Whoa, that's in our budget right there.
It is cheap. It's in our budget. It's not like, you're not like that. It's good. So tin cup mountain whiskey.
All right,
is what I will be drinking tonight.
All right. So then the other segment, the golf story for the week. I don't have anything other than we did win our match this week. So I didn't think I was going to be able to play our match. So playoffs. We're in the quarterfinals now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I didn't think I was going to be able to play Tuesday because I did have something going on with my daughter. Actually, it's not a golf story, but it's actually a funny story. So with the guys that we were supposed to play Tuesday agreed to play us earlier in the day. And I actually, you and I were going to play that day. And I said, hey, the guys who are playing can play early, so I'm going out to play real life. And we went out, and I actually played a perfect round as far as match play goes because I had 3 birdies.
Wow.
And 9 holes. Okay. 3 birdies and 9 holes.
Yeah.
I had 2 doubles, which I lost those holes. And then I think I had some bogeys and pars. But the thing is with match play, those birdies just, put me right past this guy.
Yeah.
And I won my match. My partner did not win his match. So it came down to strokes. And because I had a decent round, we won the match. So
that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. But next week I don't get to play because I'm in Vegas and I have to get a sub. So cross my fingers it works out.
I'll fill in for you. Let me fly out to Pennsylvania. I'll fill in for you.
There you go.
I had every intention of playing today. Kids are back in school, and I had a very light day at work, and so my intention was to go out and play and come here with a golf story. And you can see I am actually in a quarter zip, long sleeve quarter zip. It is because it is 56 degrees and it hasn't stopped raining since this morning started. So there was a lot of indoor golf today, a lot of sim golf, a lot of sim practice. And that was the extent of my golf story.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure if you can see. It's actually much better now. So after that golf match on Tuesday, the reason I couldn't play golf is because my daughter is a freshman. She's actually starting for the high school field hockey team. There's a tradition that we have a parents game. So Tuesday night was the parents game. The kids coach the parents, and then the freshmen and sophomore play against the juniors and the seniors.
In field hockey, not golf.
Right, in field hockey.
Just making sure.
Well, long story short, it was towards the end of the game, and I got one right in the noggin of field hockey.
Oh, no.
And I got a big goose egg. It was bleeding. There's a little cut. You probably can't see it. But I'm okay.
Okay, how many fingers am I holding up?
Yeah, and like when it happened, the entire crowd went ooh.
And the weird thing was you got into the sim the next day and your slice was gone.
Yeah, and I didn't remember who you were either.
Exactly. You kept calling me Steve. And I don't smell like Steve.
All right. So that wasn't quite a golf story, but it did mess with my golf game. So courses.
We have courses.
We have courses. And so the theme. It seemed like every week we have a theme. So this week is definitely copyright infringement week.
Isn't that every week?
Yes, but more so this week. All right. So you'll catch on rather quickly here in a second. Yep. So DPC Sodgrass. So that,
this fantasy course is amazing.
The fantasy course is absolutely unreal. By our buddy DPR. DPR is the magician, right?
He is the magician.
It is in Ponte Verde, Florida, and I think there's like another famous course down there too. But this one is
Sister course.
Yeah, sister course. Yeah.
That one's not as good though. This one's so much better. It's way better. Yeah. This course is great. I'm excited to have this course.
And people say we don't do remakes. Well, this isn't a remake. This is a new course.
It's a new course. Correct.
It's a new course.
Yep.
Heritage Hills, Barrie, Ontario by Pina.
And I looked Pena up, his first course.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so he should be blue.
So blue, congrats to being blue and getting published, Pena.
Yeah,
I
congratulations.
said his. I don't know if it's a he or her, but congratulations to your course.
Nina Pena Santa Marina,
Do
right?
we have any female golf course designers yet?
There was that one woman who came in like and was all about LiDAR and doing like
Yeah, with Apple
and then
devices
and then
and
she kind of
LiDAR.
like she was like came in was like really kind of oh yeah all and then snap
And then kind of went
hadn't seen it and
away.
then
Yeah.
kind of went that happens a lot. It's like you see people come in very excited and a lot of the designers are like all right okay
All right.
let's see where you
Yep.
go right.
Yep.
Well,
like, it's kind of like Facebook. The people are like, well, I'm just going to build it myself, and they never actually get started.
Yeah. And then we have your course, Medalist. Congratulations on what your 500th course or something like that.
Since we started the show, or since we'll talk about this one. There's a little bit of this is a labor of love on this one. There's a little bit of story behind this.
Yeah, it's a great course.
Thank you.
And then Olympia Country and Golf Club in Olympia, Washington by Scott H67.
He's got a bunch of courses now.
He does. He's been kind of flying under the radar. He does have one MPAL though. I look back, he does have an MPAL from season 1.
Yeah.
So, he's stepping it up.
Yep.
And then another
Sea Island,
another that's another Sea Island. So the other one was Sea Island. Oh shoot, now I can't remember. He had another Sea Island course. It was called something else.
This is the Plantation course, yeah.
This is the Plantation, but he did another Sea Island course. Adam TC4 with the golf club at Black Rock.
Yep.
Tech Bud released the course this week.
Yep.
And then Vegas Golf.
Golf.
So this goes to the copyright thing, right? Which was a re-release. However, Steve,
I am so before you go, hold on. I am so excited for you. I mean, I'm just so excited that Vegas Golf is in GSPro. It's I live for it. My kids live. I love it. It's the best ever, and our friend R. Dyer has done just an amazing job on it. So I just want to say it a lot. I love Vegas Golf.
Okay, well, with that being said, okay, breaking news, it's getting taken down again.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, now by the time the show's out, people might know. But I was talking to R. Dyer today, and they got a takedown notice again on Vegas Golf. And I'll be honest, this is completely freaking bullshit. Okay. Let me bring our video in here because you can see my frustration here.
Yeah.
So apparently there's two. Now the one I might be able to understand, which is that apparently I think the targets themselves, the circular targets, which I mean.
Sorry, hold on. I'm just asking. I know you're just the messenger.
Yeah.
Is it because the targets are circles, or is there an image on the targets that is copyrighted?
Well, they do have kind of like that target, that grading over top. So that could be it. I'm not really sure. Again, I'm the messenger.
I don't think you can copyright a circle.
No, you can't copyright a circle, but you could the pattern that is used in there, perhaps. Now, to me, fine. That's fine. The other thing is, is the Vegas skyline that it's out there, which I think is 100% bullshit. So here we are. We're in a situation now where I think lawyers are sending and now what they're doing is they're poking and to see how far they can take this without and if no one's going to fight back, you're just going to continue to see this.
Well, who's going to fight back? I mean, our Dyer's not going to fight back.
I don't blame him. He shouldn't. Yeah. It's not his, and I don't think he has any intention at this point on changing that skyline. He put a lot of work on it. He's not going to change it to another city. So I think we have seen the last of Vegas Golf at this point.
If he moves the skyline buildings around, do you think that would satisfy them, or that's not?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't even know how you can copyright a Vegas skyline.
You cannot. You can't. But again, it's one of those things. Whereas if it gets taken down and no one fights it, then they win, right?
They win. Yep. That's dumb. I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm sorry, man. I know you've done a ton of work on that. That sucks. That's not cool.
Yep. That is not cool. And you're a very talented builder by all means. And I'm sorry, that sucks. And
So
commiserate.
like, I'll be honest with you. Like, if you wanted to make a really unique venue, say here, I'll just make this up. Say you wanted to take a baseball stadium, recreate a baseball stadium, and then make it a driving range and just hit out of the home plate, right? So you've got a baseball stadium, a driving range. I guess they could come back and say, no, that's our likeness. You can't, like, if they're copywriting the skyline of Vegas, what's next?
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, sucks.
It's
All right,
I think
I'm wallowing in my bourbon.
my bigger concern is that if this gets out that these takedown notices are being successful against GSPro, they could just send takedown notices and everything's going to start coming down.
Good. I guess it could. Like, I don't know. I mean, at some point, someone's going to have to stand up and say, this is
ridiculous.
You can't take
but
it down.
Here's the most frustrating thing: you have to fight every takedown notice. So even if
each
our
one
Dyer
comes in.
were to win this one, the next one is you're starting all over again, right?
Yep. And that's where, I mean, GSPro is not a foresight. They don't have all this.
Right.
They don't have all these employees and all these attorneys and all this stuff on staff to.
So I guess it just comes down to, at some point, we as designers have to really think, the amount of work that I'm putting into this, is it worth it that if I'm gonna get a takedown notice?
Yeah.
So
or what they end up doing is, maybe you can still pull the LiDAR and you can still do all that, but then you just have to use generic stuff. You have to use generic clubhouses, generic. You can't the course can be pretty accurate, but all the stuff around it can't be.
Yeah. Be curious to see if DPC Sodgrass sticks around.
Yeah. I'd be curious to see if DPC Sodgrass sticks around.
So I hope so. That's kind of going to be the litmus test, I think.
Yeah, right. I think if they, okay. I'm sad.
I am sad.
Makes me angry.
Yeah.
But we have to go through our MPALs.
Our MPALs. So our first MPAL, must play of the week, is DPC Sodgrass. So I figured we just had to put this in here. We're not going to, at least going to spend a lot of time, because it is there's a certain hole on here that looks really good that they made some changes to make it very unique, in my opinion. I've never seen anything quite like this ever.
It does not. And it doesn't resemble anything. It's great. It is really, really well done. The course itself is really well done. There's, maybe, I feel like I'm in Florida. That's about all I get out of it. It's a great course. I just feel like I'm in Florida.
Yeah, nice island green here with a wooden bridge.
Wooden bridge going across. That's, that bridge looks a little rickety. I'm not sure if they walk on it, might fall into that muddy water.
Yep. Pin placement is, very typical for, a hole like that.
Yeah. That's a Thursday pin.
Yeah.
Clubhouse is just a standard Florida,
Yep. Kind of like the Spanish Italian Renaissance type, clubhouse.
I think it might be Mar-a-Lago. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, it could be. Yeah. So DPC Sawgrass, we'll put that in the MPAL list because of its uniqueness and
congrats, DP.
Yep, congrats. And then the golf club at Black Rock by Adam TC4. So this was the time that we did get to play this week. This is the course that we jumped in on.
This was a special course too.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun on this course. So, we have courses that we believe are well done. They look really good. The lighting's good. The vegetation's good. This one is actually done really well, and it's really just a really cool course in general. Like,
correct.
And this to me goes back to everything we talk about with if you talk about copyrights of courses. This makes me want to. I don't know if it's private or public, but it makes me want to go and play this course. Pretty cool. Oh, and there's your altitude.
There's our altitude. I was wondering, GSPro feature request. I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna verbally add it when we get to that segment. So we did a guy's golf trip, we go every year, and every year we choose a different location, and we just play a shit ton of golf. Usually it's 7 rounds in 4 days. We usually do 36, 36, 36, 18, and fly home. And on one hand, it's a ton of fun because we mix it up and play all kinds of courses. Like, it's usually 36 and get in the car and you drive an hour, then 36. And on the other hand, like, there's no drinking because we're playing so much golf.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we're so tired that there's no, like, maybe we'll go out and get dinner. But anyway, we did Coeur d'Alene a couple of years ago and did the Coeur d'Alene Resort as well. And I wanted to say we played the club at Black Rock, but we did not. I checked with my buddy who does all the
Okay.
booking. We tried to get on this one, but we weren't unable to. So, but it was that I really thoroughly enjoyed playing it with you. It was so much fun.
Yeah. Just so really scenic course. Now, one thing Adam TC4, he reached out to me and he said, "Hey, if you guys get to play this, here's the holes. If you can't play all 18, here's the holes." And we really appreciate that. So we definitely did that and took advantage of it. So thanks for reaching out and letting us know.
That was helpful a ton. That was great. Let us know what holes you'd prefer us to play.
Yeah, thank you. So it does have a driving range, and we'll definitely talk about. We have kind of a feature request regarding driving ranges coming up
We
too.
do. We do.
So I do like to put the driving ranges in here, but here's number one.
Yep.
And when you load this up, you immediately, I thought, like, I was pretty, when I loaded this up and we were playing, I was like, I get a little bit of a, I don't know if everyone hasn't played, like, I did Glacier Golf, which was a fictional
Yep.
course.
Yep.
And so when I loaded this up and I started playing it, I was like, it's kind of got a little bit of a Glacier Golf vibe to it with kind of the elevation and the trees.
Yep.
And then I actually reached out to him and I was like, "Is this a real course? Because these elevations are like sick." And he said, "No, it's a real course."
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
a real life Glacier Golf, I guess.
Huh?
So teeing off, 17 yards down. Now, what we also found, and you pointed this out to me, is like all these A-frames definitely give you that mountain feel, right?
I loved it. We saw those from the fairway, and you're right. The A-frames to me, again, someone who lives up in the mountains. I'm not physically in the mountains, but I live in Colorado and go to the mountains all the time. The A-frames are so common, and they have that kind of mountain vibe to them. So I loved it.
Yeah, even a lot of the houses, there were like some that were kind of like the lodgy type houses. So
Yeah.
pretty cool that he kept that theme overall.
I agree. This was great looking.
Yeah. So then, like on top of that, you had like the chateau on the top of the hill here, which was probably like a reused clubhouse that somebody else did.
Yeah. The
eh,
rock sticking out.
Yeah, the rock on there, which is just really nice, just to break things up a little bit to give it a little bit more realism.
Well,
And
and then he vertex painted like the you can see like the walkway or the carts between the two different fairways over there
yeah, over
to the
here.
left right there. Yeah, exactly. So you can see like, hey, I'm gonna cut through and go use the restroom or something.
Yeah, the colors just really work well. There wasn't a single, I don't think I saw a single tree in here that would probably change the color of, even the vegetation, just very,
Right.
very consistent. Just a little bit of flowers here and there to break things up a little bit. So
Yep.
I liked it a lot. I also thought his gradient fog was perfect. It's just not enough that you can tell it's there, but not a little overbearing.
Yep.
This flag was also really cool. This was on hole 6. Reflections off the water. And now I think I agree with you. The water might be a little dark here, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I think it's probably defaulted, right?
Yeah. It looks to me like it's defaulted, and just again, just just so you know, again, this is my opinion at least. I feel like the water in Unity on the default a shader, the material does not look quite like that in GS Pro. It gets darker and a little bit.
In
I don't want
GS
to say
Pro, it
oily.
gets darker. So after you pull it
GS
into
Pro
game,
it gets darker, right? It looks
right?
good in game. You're like, okay, it looks great. It looks great in Unity. Excuse me, it looks great in Unity. And then I go to GS Pro and it looks too dark. So I've actually been light, and you'll see on Medalist, I've been lightening and bluing my water up in Unity a little bit.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about that is in Unity it looks bad. I'm like, oh my god, that water looks hideous in Unity, but in GS Pro I think it looks better. There's his bong hit. Hold on.
Yeah. So keep in mind, guys. Like, so I would say like things like water and that, like always always do a double check in game, to see what that lighting looks like.
Yep.
So he did point out, like, he's like, he said, play these holes. It was great. He said, because waterfalls. I was like, okay. So
Okay.
there was a ton of water. And this is why I thought it was fictional, because when I did Glacier Golf, I put all these waterfalls in, and I was like, well, there's no way this course is real. And then I looked like online and like, yeah, I think there are a
Yeah.
ton of like waterfalls in
Now,
this course.
let me ask, is that terrain or those individual rock prefabs that he sized and rotated and moved around to get
I'm
that look?
pretty sure those are rock prefabs.
They
Yeah.
look like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those look like rock prefabs, he did a great job with those. They look
He
really good.
did. He
Yeah.
did.
And then here's another one. I think actually this is a famous hole. Seems
Yeah.
like lots of pictures with this online. Now, the only critique I think I would have is there you can
Yeah, this
see
one. Yeah.
is so he did put some particle effects, and I'm not sure which package he used these particle effects from. But first of all,
Ram.
here he put some particle effects at the bottom. I put some over here,
Yep.
but RAM has like particle effects that are actually meant for like the middle of waterfalls, the top and the bottom. And
The
then also what you
farthest
can
song.
do is you can stretch and scale them along certain axes. You can actually scale those to the whole length of the waterfall. So I think you could use a little bit more particle effects on these.
Agreed.
Um,
And the only thing I will add to that, I 100% agree with you. Again, in RAM, you can have a particle effect at the bottom that is moving away from the waterfall, so
yeah,
you get that illusion of water moving
rippling.
into the pond,
Yeah,
rippling into the pond. I would have added those as well, just for that little extra realism.
yeah,
My only other thought too is be a little careful because on the waterfall on the left hand side, and I love what you did and where you're going with it. On the top, the upper half of it, you can kind of see the ram edge. And it's really hard to get it where it's cascading over the rock,
yeah,
but you also don't have the edge of the ram spline showing.
yeah.
So it's just it's tricky. That's where the part of flex or even a little bit of like weeds. You
Yeah.
plant a couple of weeds right there,
Or what I've done is just take smaller rocks and kind of
or
stack
smaller
them.
rocks and put it right along there. Yep,
Yeah, I can do
exactly.
that too. But this was
Yep.
really, and like we're being really nitpicky now. I thought these looked really good. Also, what
Yeah.
I thought was really good was the speed. I think you adjusted the
Yeah.
gravity settings of the water really well, so it cascaded at the right speeds. And this is
Gosh,
just also a picture. I
video.
just love this shot here of like the green through the rocks. Pretty cool.
And this was fun. Like both of us hit our shots up on the left hand side, upper tier, and they both kicked to the right and rolled down towards the pin. And
Yeah,
we
yeah,
had a lot of fun playing this hole.
yeah.
You know what we do need? We need a video tutorial, Mister Video Tutorial guy, of the all of those 9 million RAM settings for
Ugh,
water, like on the waterfall. Like
yeah,
there's so many settings from fall off to foam to cascade to big wave to little wave
yeah.
to like we
And I'm
we
trying to
need to
remember,
figure
like,
out.
I figured them all out when I was doing Glacier because I had all those waterfalls and things. And I can't
Yeah,
remember, a lot of times when I do that, I'll create a video for myself to remind me later on. I can't remember if I did that or not. I'll have to look.
we should look into figure if you have that because that's I find myself because I don't remember. I get it looking good, then I don't remember what I did. So I find myself like
Yeah,
literally editing every single box and like undoing and editing and undoing and seeing how it changes. And
yeah,
yeah, it'd be great if we could like tweak it and like here's a really good looking waterfall to start from.
yeah. Sometimes there's a setting I still haven't figured out what it does. I'm like, this doesn't look like it's changing anything,
Yeah,
you know?
agreed. Yep.
Um, yeah, but the well done on the waterfalls.
Well
I
done.
really,
Great
yeah,
course.
yeah,
Yep.
they were really cool. This was three. We
Thank
had a
you.
lot of fun on this hole in general. I mean, 61 yards down.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I hit the ball 240 and it actually went like 290.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a lot of fun there. Now there was one thing I think he could have done a little bit better, which was, so let's zoom in on this mini map here.
Yep.
Now when we played this hole, I hit one way up by this house, and I was
Yep.
surprised when I got like my lie was like 30 degrees down and it was deep
It
rough,
was. It
and
was.
and I was like,
I
in
think
real
you were
life,
like three.
yeah,
I think you were like 360 to the pin with a 22-degree down and an 18-degree left.
yeah,
Deep rough shot. It was
yeah.
ridiculous.
I was playing mountain goat.
Yeah, exactly.
uh, So my recommendation here would be is doing like an inner OB all the way around this house, because if someone hits over here, and I think Mashy, you even said, and I can't remember, I think this is all sloped down through here too. So maybe this whole area
Yes.
here. Bottom
I
line
think
is, if
anything right. I think, and I've played these types of golf courses a bazillion times. Most anything right of that cart path, anything more than probably 10 feet is going to be probably a lateral
lost,
hazard.
yeah,
Yeah, lost in there. You're not going to find it, and you're climbing the hill and stuff. So you should
yeah.
consider putting a hazard on that right side.
Yeah, and then up here, this was like a ravine almost, with like
Yep.
extreme like thick brush, and I was like and I know one thing that happened is, like, I think at one point you and I were like in this area,
Yep.
and we couldn't tell, and it even helps to know, hey, if this is outlined in red, that, hey, just avoid that area,
You avoid
right,
it.
in
Yeah, it's
general.
hard to tell. Yep.
Because even landing in here, when I was looking, it was like, it was hard to tell, like, that looks like a bad area to go, and it was. But I think I hit in there too, and I was able to
You
stay.
did.
I did. I
You
tested
did.
all. I'm a good tester because I get in all the crazy spots,
You
right?
are a good tester. I suck. I went fairway, fairway, green.
Yeah, you're no fun. Yeah, no wonder you don't find any bugs.
Fair.
And then the floating tree on 12.
Yep.
So,
Yep. We saw,
uh,
and this is right where our ball was. So we saw this one.
yeah,
It was right here.
yeah. There might
Yeah,
be
quite
other.
close trees.
I'm sure this is probably a hand planted tree, because you're not putting a
Probably.
biome there. So,
Yep.
I don't know if it's even
And
worth fixing.
one other small suggestion, you might put a couple little tufts of like deep rough grass right around the trunk of the tree, because it's never mowed right up against the tree
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yep.
But great course. Had a ton of fun
Yep.
playing it. Highly, highly recommend y'all go play that one.
Yep.
That's great.
Congrats on the MPAL.
Yep. Congrats.
And Scott TH 67. So, congratulations. You also get an MPAL this week for the Olympia Country and Golf Club. So, out in Olympia, Washington. Now, this was
Another
a
great
course
course.
that, again, being Olympia, I would expect some elevation, and you definitely get it. Okay, not a terribly long course.
Yep.
However, you got to be smart when you play this.
Yep.
So, first hole, this is pretty cool. You hit, there's this hill here, but you're going to lay up short, and then you got to hit up, I think it's like another 40 yards up. So, but there's a ton of detail in this course. So, really well done. I mean, he's got this, I'm assuming this looks like the real sign on course, which is really cool. I love summer rules. Make sure you repair your ball marks. And then a nice little touch with not only the custom tee markers, but like the tee, the
Yep.
broken tees sitting next to
Yep.
with the little cup you're supposed to put them on, but they're being too
And
lazy.
you turn the markers so you can see them, which
Yep,
is great. I love that. Yep.
yep,
Nicely done. Good
yep.
touches.
Well done. Um, so also what he did, and this is off hole one, but all throughout the course, he had what I looked like. I was like, man, these are these big giant curbs. Now, this white thing you see right here, I don't know. This was bizarre. This was like an artifact. It was almost like a triangle that had somehow ended up with a different material at the end of the day. I'm not even
Weird.
sure if it's worth trying to fix. It's just a weird thing. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow, he did these curbs on here. And then
They've
I'm
been
kind of
thick.
investigating that, and it looks like he did auto fence
Auto
builder
fence
for his
builder.
curbs. And there's a lot of these. That took to me a lot of time.
One, that's a lot of lot of work, man. If he really used auto fence builder, if he used the uh blender tools to create a what do you call it? Sorry, bourbon and words are escaping me. What's
The
a
bulkhead.
bulkhead? A bulkhead. Thank you. Maybe, I mean, if you use the bulkhead tool, it makes it a little bit easier. But man,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's a
Yeah. So what
lot
we're
of
looking
fence
at here
building.
is underneath the mesh, so you can see the
Yeah,
3DG we're looking at. But that's like an AFB fence to me, and
I
like,
think
so this
so.
is and there's just like 6 inches that are sitting up as this curb, which is
And that's a
great. I love,
huge curve.
and it's a huge curb. It's just really interesting that he decided to
Yeah,
do that much effort to make curbs on the course.
looks good.
And then another thing he did, which is, I really kind of like this look,
I do too.
is, I think, and I don't know, he either used overhead image creator to like find out where the trees were and then draw these out, and then he hand planted the trees. But what he did in Blender was he raised these up and then put the trees on it, so it looks like that pine that's just kind of, it gives it more of a realistic look, and some of the roots
So
sticking out look really, really well.
is that so do you think he put basically a round circle pine straw
Yep.
inkscape, in that, and he did. Then he put that in Blender. He took that mesh in Blender and he just grabbed and raised up the
Yep.
center part, and then he planted the tree in the center of it. He probably raised up some of the roots of the tree, or you think because he raised up the Blender part, the
No,
roots already are sticking out?
I think, well, a lot of these trees have kind of the roots, and then I think he planted the trees and maybe lifted the trees up a little bit so the roots kind of
Interesting.
came
So
up.
the roots are sticking out.
Now
It's a
that
gr- it's
I
a
didn't see
beautiful look.
those roots now, this stuff here I think is just the texture.
That's the texture on the.
Now
Yeah,
these
I was thinking
sticking
about
out
those
are
roots right
definitely the
there.
roots
Yeah,
though. Yeah.
yeah. It's a great look. I love it.
Yeah, definitely a unique look, which is one of the reasons I definitely give an MPAL, because I like to give MPALs to courses
Yeah.
that are memorable, and it's like, oh, this is the course with the raised pine straw.
Well, and that's a lot of work because he did. If you look back on that
Oh yeah,
screenshot, he did it on all of the
there's a
1, 2, 3,
ton of
4,
them.
5. There's a ton of them across the entire course.
Yeah, there's a ton of them.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep. And just a lot of detail here with, this little landscaped area over here with the very simple T sign, the
yeah.
ball washer, the rocks, the benches, just all really good. Just a,
His
pleasant experience.
his colors. I love his tree colors, right? And I love that they're not all the same, but they're all in the same hue. Like that, the
Yep.
pine straight out there is a darker green. You got the lighter greens to the right, and the tree colors look really, really well
And
done.
I don't know if he purposely changed like the bark of some of these pine trees to make them red like that, but it works.
It
It
works. It
works.
works great. I love it. He had
Yep.
to have. I love it.
Yep. And I don't think this is a problem, but just something to be aware of. I don't think they're overlapping. Now the OB markers are really thick, so just be aware that if you overlap like a hazard, two hazards, you can get some weird results. And I think you're okay here, but I also thought it was kind of bizarre. Like some of these really small marked hazards, I didn't didn't zoom in to see what they were. But I
Oh,
think
that's
everything's
weird.
okay.
I thought those were you using your inker on top of the screenshot you took. Those were actual small little hazards.
Yeah.
Interesting.
See, I don't know
Huh.
what this one is, this small little hazard right there and this one over here.
I
But my
do think, and I know John listens. I know that the architect does listen to the show when we release them. I do think we probably might need to take a look at that overlap between hazard and OB, because like on Medalist, I intentionally put the OB pretty far away.
Yeah,
And then I had to put the hazards in where the hazards were, but I didn't want to overlap them based on what we were talking about here, right?
yeah.
But then that caused when somebody put the ball in the hazard, the drop point was the small little sliver between the OB and the hazard
Right,
that no one would ever get to go in the first place, right?
right.
So, and I've seen that a couple of times in a couple of courses where the drop area ends up being
The sliver.
in the little sliver, and so that's we got to figure out how we can either overlap or figure that one out somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this
Uh,
is great.
yeah. So this is one of the things when he put in a lot of detail on the clubhouse facility. So this is the clubhouse here. Now I'm looking at it from an angle that the golfer never will. Now, the reason I
Yep.
found all this is because this is the 18th green right here.
Right.
This is
Right.
the driving range, and I think this is
Looks like a
putting
putting green and 9
green,
coming
or
up.
maybe this might be the tee box. No, this is the tee box for 1 right here.
Yep. Tee box for
So
1, and then
you're
9 is
looking
back
out this
there.
way, so you never really get to appreciate this.
Yep.
But this is really cool because it's like you got the top floor of the clubhouse, and I don't know if this is like there's a parking lot, and then there's this under area. Maybe they keep golf carts underneath there. Then there's like almost like a yacht club down here and a pool, and you
I
don't
think it's a
really get to
dance
see
club.
this. The dance club, it could be.
Exactly. So after you're done with your 18, you grab your beer and you go to the
Yeah.
dance club down
Yep.
below the.
And then there's another detail that, again, if you're not a designer, exploring like we do, which is the shrubbery here, which is the
Love it.
OCGC 1926 for the golden waterfall over here, which you don't see if you're on the driving range. You're always looking out this way. So
Yep.
we
So cool.
appreciate the detail, and awesome, good job.
Nice job. Congrats.
Yep. And we got your
Oh
course.
God, who is this guy?
Who is this guy? So 7,500 from the tips, huh? 7,500.
You talk about a course that has very little info on it, right? Like very exclusive, very private. We'll see if it stays up. I assume it will. I just like there's no copyrighted stuff on it, but there is very, very hard to find any info, with the exception of Rick Shields and Ricky Fowler played this together. So Ricky Fowler gave Rick Shields 10 strokes, and the goal was, can Rick Shields beat Ricky Fowler with a 10-stroke advantage on this club from the Tiger Tees? Okay.
Did they?
No. So I won't spoil it. No spoiler. Sorry. But I had that video, and I cannot tell you how many times I would watch and pause and watch and pause and watch and pause and rewind and pause and watch an ad and skip an ad, and you know what I mean? Because it was the only stuff that I could find that would give me real life views, overhead views, videos of some angles of every hole on the course. Yeah. So I use that as and matter of fact, some of the stuff on that video, which was from a year ago, did not match up with the satellite imagery. So like on 18, the satellite imagery had a sand area all the way up the right-hand side, followed by a pine straw area into the water. And in the video, that sand area was gone. It didn't even exist. So I made changes to the course based on the latest video I could find. So,
okay, so the video was newer than the imagery.
The video was newer than the imagery, correct.
Okay. Well, know what you can do. Like, so you have this description in here, right? Which is, obviously you didn't have much information to go on. But what you can do is you can go to ChatGPT and you can say, hey, ChatGPT, give me a description that I can use for the Medalist Golf Club. And this is what it'll come up with. Which is, welcome to the dazzling world of Medalist Golf Club in sunny Holy, Florida, where the grass is greener, the putts are wilder, and the golf carts have been known to break into spontaneous dance parties.
So funny. That's so good.
Picture this, a golf course so lush that even the divots wear sunglasses. At Medalist, we've transformed the art of golf into a riveting performance worthy of a standing ovation. Our fairways are smoother than a jazz saxophone solo, and our greens are more meticulously manicured than a celebrity's red cart appearance. There you go.
I'm so glad when it said when it said, hold on, move the video so I can read it. Hold on. When it said the greens are more meticulously manicured than a celebrity's, it got red carpet, and I stopped there, and I didn't want to go anymore on where it was going with their manicured. Oh God, that was funny. I love ChatGPT. It's my hero.
It's great. ChatGPT, we love you.
It's so far from Cybernet.
Yeah, right. It's never gonna get.
Hey, I have a question for you. Did ChatGPT put the emojis in there? Did you put it?
No,
in the sun
it did it. It did it. I didn't touch. As a matter of fact, though, it is a lot longer than this. There's like 3 or 4 more paragraphs. I just took the first 2. Yeah.
So good. I love it. I love it. If you're a marketing person, your jobs are in jeopardy because ChatGPT is
done. You are done.
Oy. So this was I want to spend the whole show on this course because I want to go to other courses, and I didn't actually select this as an MPOW, you did, but I will tell you there's a little bit of a backstory real quick on this course, which was I started working on this course probably a year ago, right after that video came out, okay? And I didn't get very far on it for, I don't know, whatever reason. And probably because I've never done a Florida course before and the colors or whatever. And then our friend of the show, and good friend, Run Putter Run, reached out, and he was like, hey, I have a client interested in building this course and paying for it. You have it on the height map spreadsheet. Are you working on it? And I was like, yeah, but you know what? Take it. I'm not very far. You do it. And he was like, okay, well, let me talk to the client and see what happens. So I stopped all work on it completely. Yep. And then I reached out to him, I don't know, a couple of weeks or months later, whatever it was. And he was like, oh, it never happened, never materialized. Go ahead and do it. And then I had already started a couple of projects since then. So then it was finish those and start these. So we kind of had this on again. I actually deleted the base pack 4 times on this course because I started it, then I didn't like it, and I deleted it, then I started it, then I forgot about it, then I deleted it. So this is the final iteration of it. So anyway, I paused.
So you did put a driving range in. Now, what is the name of this guy? Because he is everywhere.
I don't know. He is everywhere. That dude is on every single course these days, and whatever his golf pass, app that he's using, I want because he's everywhere.
Yeah, he looks to me almost like a kind of like a gangster type guy. Maybe he.
The guys in the Maz and Salty and those guys that hang out in the fitness channel on SGT played this course, and I was watching them play, and they were making fun. Like, this dude is everywhere. What the hell? How the hell does this guy get on every course in SGT?
Doesn't have a great swing, but apparently hits them straight. So he's.
Yep.
So hole number 1. So I like the look of the saw palmettos on here. I think they look really good. They fit in really well. So nice job on planting those. Things look really lush. And now have you played a golf course in Florida or no?
No, I've actually never played golf in Florida.
Okay. I can say I've never played there. I've been to Florida a lot.
I've been to Florida. I've never played golf there.
I've been to Florida quite a bit. I have a family down there, and this looks like Florida though. So it definitely like marshy.
I will say I did get Cook did reach out to me. It was funny. He was like, I have not reviewed a course in forever, and luck of the draw, I pulled yours. And he did give me some good feedback because this is all satellite shading, and it was a little too washed, and I knew it was a little too washed out, and so he gave me some feedback on not how to, but what to do, like how he was like, think about this and look at it like that. And so the feedback was great. Gave me pointing me in the right direction on the colors.
Cool. I do like your team markers. They're classy.
They're classy. I'm putting them on every one of my courses going forward. BDB team markers.
I'm definitely. I have an idea for team markers in Kapalua that's along our theme, but maybe just a little different. So I don't know. I have to think about whether I want to put that effort in or not, but we'll see. Now, I like this story, which was a couple weeks ago, you said you were working on this course.
Yep.
And in the feature request of the week, you said it would be great if we could narrow the distance between tee markers when we have small tees or tee boxes. Yep. And we put that in there. And you released this course this week. Lo and behold, our good friend, John Meyer, the architect, comes out and says, I'm going to implement that feature. It'll be in the next base pack for the custom tee markers. So I put this in here because, hey, your tee markers are off your tee box, but guess what? You're going to be able to fix that soon. So that's pretty cool.
And I first off, John, thank you. It's awesome. I think it's good. Like, not everybody will need it, but courses will need it, right? And I struggled because Pac-Man and I were talking about this during one of the. I think he and I played like 7 rounds over the last week together. And this came up as a topic, and he was like, "Oh, well, I just make my tee boxes wider," and I personally struggled with that because I want them to be as accurate as they are in real life.
Yeah.
Not that anybody that I know is going to be able to go play this course, right? This is Tiger's home course. This is Ricky's home course. There's like 20 pros that this is their home course, right? But I wanted it to be as accurate as possible, not artificially make the tee boxes bigger just because our tees were too big.
So I just noticed something in this picture.
Yeah.
Some of the pine straw is coming over into. How'd you do that?
I modified the 3DG settings on the pine straw to make it extra long. And so I changed the I have to go look at which setting it was. I changed or it's not orientation. I think it means the D is like disorientation or something, so that it lays a little bit less flat and a little bit more up.
Okay.
So you got this really long, narrow and up, and it causes it. And if you were to scroll in closely where the pine straw meets the sand, you will see the pine straw overlapping into the sand.
Yeah,
I like the way I did it there.
I like that. That looks cool. Okay. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And
sod bunkers.
Yes. So you spent quite a bit of time on these.
I did, and DPR, thank you for helping me. Again, there's all of the greenside waste area and greenside bunkers on this, and fairway bunkers are sod faced, really really deep bunkers. Mine are not always. I actually felt bad. Some of them I put in were so deep once I flattened them that I thought there was no way it can't be like that in real life. It just can't. So I actually raised the floor on a handful of them to make them hard but not stupid.
Yeah.
Um, and he gave me some feedback. Now that this is a really cool tool because in Blender you flatten the base, you flatten the base of the
Of the bunker.
bunker, and then you add the sod wall or the pop wall to it. Now he and I talked about maybe restructuring that in the newer version of Blender coming out to where you set your angle of the wall first and then you add the wall to it because it's a little out of sequence
Hmm.
and it by default it's set to 2. Well, that's a 2-degree wall. It needs to be closer to 80. Actually, so I played around with the walls and figured out a 60-degree wall looked the best. You could see the sod face. And the best part about it is there's a 3DG that he had included with the pop bunker, so only the grass stripes of the sod wall have 3DG on them.
Okay.
So if you were to zoom in close to that, you'll see grass on the green part and no grass on the dirt part. It's pretty cool.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
Yep. It's fun.
Yep. I put this in here because I felt this felt a lot like Florida, which is the kind of like the bulkhead that's really close to the water instead of like a lot of the bulkhead showing. And then, the grass is kind of up next to it, the watercolor. No, so here's a good example of you added, I think, a little bit of blue here to give it,
Yep.
a little bit. To me, this is more of like a cleaner water look versus a murky. And I think it
Yep.
just depends on the look you're going for.
Yeah.
Um,
And this course, by the way, I did like 4 different water types because if you look at the water on number 2, I actually used a ram water spline with the duckweed on top of it, and I colored the duckweed and I thinned it out. Because if you look on the video, that thing is murky, swampy, gross. I bet it smells like shit. Like
yeah.
I can't. But then on this hole, it was a pretty clear. I probably should have floating grasses along the edges and stuff on it, but it was a pretty clear lake that they were going or pond they were going over. So I tried to mimic it the best I could.
Now, I noticed a lot of times in this course, I had a hard time deciphering whether something was like sand or a cart path. And
There
like
are no car paths.
there are narco. Okay, so
It
that
is
makes that.
all sand.
Wow. So
It
do
is
you? I
all
guess
sand.
there are no cart. I maybe don't know. Are there cart paths allowed on the course? Does everybody walk?
No, there are carts on the course. You drive. It's all waste bunker.
Oh.
You can, yeah. If you fly up and you look, you'll see everything you're seeing right here
Yeah.
is all waste bunker along the left side of that fairway and right here. And you just drive in it. You drive in it with your cart. It's a waste bunker.
Wow.
In a waste bunker rule, you can ground your club. You
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
move stuff out of the way. But if you look to the right of the green, the right up there to that's actually it's actually still waste area. It's just been leveled out more like a bunker. And then there are specific bunkers, but no, there is actually one cart path on this course. It's on 18 by the driving range up by the clubhouse. And that's it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So you drive in the sand.
Makes sense. Now, when I first saw this, and we kind of talked about this in pre-show, I was like, oh, he left his inner terrain on. No, this is your outer terrain because I
Yeah.
kind of look, it's like, well, guys, you shouldn't ever leave your inner terrain draw on anymore in V4 because it's just a resource suck.
Yeah.
But you didn't do an outer mesh on this one.
I didn't do it. It's on the list for an update to do the outer mesh at some point. I just didn't do the outer mesh, and I wanted to get the course out. So it's a year in the making. So
Yeah. And the alligators. So I found these by happenstance because I hit a ball over there. And incidentally, they move. In
they
case you
do.
did. Yes.
They do. They're little by accident, but they move. I was playing with the animation
Yes. I was
script. And I
actually
couldn't get it to.
surprised that all of a sudden the legs, it looks like they're trying to come out of the water and snatch me. But yes.
The pack that I have, there's like 7 different animations, including a snapping jaw, walking legs, a tail that whips around. And I was playing with the animations. I couldn't get to work right. I was just tired of dealing with it, so I left them in there as they were, and they just kind of move a little bit. I will tell you, I took my inspiration from the claw. The alligators in the claw, another Florida course, and I'm like, okay, I got to stick some gators in here.
Yeah, nice. And then 18 and the clubhouse, which this was a DPR builder
That's
house that
DPR
you
house
did,
builder. Yep.
you did yourself.
Yep. I did.
Nice.
I actually did find an actual picture on their website of the clubhouse from the 18 green, and I used that as a modeler. Justin helped me. Justin's video. I was able to drop the satellite imagery into Blender, and then I figured out how far it was, the distance wise, and then I started playing with the house builder on that, and brought the textures in and everything, and did my best to recreate it the best I could. It's not exact, but it's close.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly good enough for what you need, right? On 18.
Yeah, you only see it from like 2 holes.
Yeah. Yep. So incidentally, how long did that take you?
You're gonna laugh. It took me about 3 hours over 2 days.
It's good. I mean, I looked back quick on like some of the clubhouses I built earlier in mine, and it was like 25% of the time I spent on the course.
Yeah, no, this once I got going, once I got the real hang of using House Builder and the individual pieces, the hardest thing for me was understanding how tall to make it.
Yeah.
Like and what I have to do still, I still don't fully understand how many meters a 2-story house is. Is it 6 meters, 12, 8? I don't know.
Right.
So I build a house first. I build just a basic house first, right? Make sure the roof lines are what they want, and then I stick a door on it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh my God, that's a 5-story house. What the hell am I thinking? So bring it back down to, and so that's how I do it. And to be fair, like there's a fair amount of duplication. Like once I got one, I duplicated it, scaled it, moved it, and it gives me those extra overhangs and eaves and stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Well done.
It was good. Thank you. I had fun. Hope you all enjoy it.
Sea Island.
Yeah. I played this one. Yeah, Jay Pruitt and I played this one together in the sim. When you were I felt like I cheated on you. When you were out doing work stuff, I played with Pac-Man. I played with Jay Pruitt. I played with Mike or Bull Pride. I played with who else? CO Golfer, I think. I mean, I played with all these guys this week when you were out of pocket, and so I felt like I was cheating on you. I'm sorry, my friend.
Oh man.
Man. Yeah, I know. Right.
This
is a good course. We had a lot of fun. We played. One mistake we made was we played match play, and beta testing match play on this course. Not this course in general sucked because I was up, and then we didn't get to play the last 3 holes because the match ended. I was up by 3.
Does it automatically end the match if you can't win?
Yeah, if you're up by 3 with 3 to if you're up by 3 with 3 to play, the match is over.
All right. Did you think it give you? There's a feature request on match play. Give you the option to play it out even though you've won, right?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But that normally, like, hey, you're done. You're dormy, right? You're up by, or you're almost dormy. You're up by 3 with 3, and then went to the next. We tied that hole, and I was up by 3 going in with 2, and it was over. So, great course. I love this. Here's the driving range, and you can't see in the screenshot. It doesn't do it justice. Off to the left there, you can see a little bit of the white in the ocean there. It's the waves rolling in from the ocean. Sea Island is over near Myrtle Beach, if I remember correctly, and so this had the complete kind of East Coast beach vibe, which I loved. And it wasn't Florida beach vibe. There's no palm tree. I don't think there's palm trees and stuff on it. So. But I thought it was just a great course, a great driving range. You want to go to the next one? And he has so much detail on this course, and this is the number 1 hole. Yeah. And custom tee markers. If you look to the left, you can see the practice putting green right there. I think that'd be frightening though. Like you got all these guys that are like practicing their putts when you're on the tee, kind of teeing off right there. Like like talk about nerves, right? Yeah. But it was really, really good. And then the other thing too, which I thought was interesting, was those hedges. You can see them on the left by the house and by that tree right there. They're only in a couple of places, and they're ancillary like that. They're off to the side. He told me this. He wanted a very square or rectangular, structured, well trimmed hedge. He created a cube in Unity and dropped a texture on it. That's it. Like. It's genius. It worked great. It looks good. He said he tweaked the textures a little bit, so it wasn't just a quite repetitive pattern over and over again.
Yeah.
But it looked great.
Yeah, they
So,
look really good. They look really good.
yep. Um, I thought this was fantastic. Like the woodwork on some of the bunkers that he did is great. These all have timber colliders, so you will bounce off the wood. It just, and they're not perfect. Like the right side is leaning low, the left side. I mean, it
I
looks
think I
great.
recall the discussion around those are all individually placed, aren't they?
I think they are. I think they're individually placed pieces that yeah, I mean, that's a lot of
Oh
work.
God. Yeah. God
Yeah.
bless your soul.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Yep.
Really nice. Again, another example of, and this, I like these kind of shots. I like to show these kind of shots because this is like kind of mixed media. You got your old bridge, kind of old worn out bridge with a stream in the background, with rock work, with these, rough kind of like deep tall grasses in there with the trees and pine straw in the background. It's just a really, the attention to detail, the hazard stakes right there.
Yeah.
It was really, really well done.
The course looks
And
authentic. It looks authentic to me.
yeah, and it was a ton of fun to play, and we'll get into that in a second. Would suggest toning down this green a little bit. It stood out. It stood out to me when we played it, and then it stood out again when I moused through it a second time just to make sure. So just a suggestion. If you do an update, you may want to tone that one.
Yeah, I noticed that
The leaf
tree on that shot right
that
there.
one right there. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
So I wanted to show the mini map here. I guess I could have zoomed in a little bit, but I want to show the mini map because from a playability standpoint, this is not an easy course. You have a ton of water, you have a ton of hazards, and you have a ton of OB on almost every shot. And so like this one is, for a decent carry, you're carrying over water. There's OB to the right if you slice it. There's OB to the left if you hit it really too far left. And so it's a pretty good course for accurate golf, and the greens were really hard. Every single putt was a slider left or slider right. There was no straight putts anywhere to be found.
Oof.
Another great look, number 7, par 3. Not quite an island green, but I grabbed this one just to show his watercolor looked great. The bulkhead along the edges looked great. Pine straw off to the right underneath the pine trees look great. Would love to see a little more stuff under the trees and the pine straw, but that's, I mean, really.
One thing he obviously paid attention to was his tee alignment too.
They're perfect.
They are perfect. You got it.
Yeah, I struggle with that in all honesty. I need some sort of ruler and greenkeeper that I can put down on a tee box to make sure my little
for me,
orbs are
like
lined
you
up.
know, I load up Greenkeeper and I do that, and like the first time I do it, I'm always kind of like I just do it to get it done, and then I'm like, oh, I'll fix this later,
Yeah,
and
I
then you
never do
never
it.
do.
And then you look at the course and the tees are all over the
Well, that's
place.
what happens. Then I load it up the first time. I'm like, oh, I got to go back to
Oh, I got
Greenkeeper
to
and
go
fix
back
all
and
these
redo all of
tees
them.
because they're just all
Yep.
crooked. Yep.
Yep. Agreed.
All
So
right.
anyway, great job. Love the courses. Love that course especially. Had fun playing with you, my friend.
Yeah. Congratulations to all the M pals for the week.
Yep. Congrats.
So our feature requests for the week. So we're going to start with kind of like ones I think are kind of realistic, and then they get less realistic.
You want to pull our videos back up so they can see us, or can they see us?
Not yet. There they go.
There we go. Okay.
So feature requests. Now some of these, well, I'll just jump into it because some of these we do feature requests. Some of them are like, yeah, this would be really great if we could have this, and some it's just kind of like, yeah, I don't really expect this to
There's
ever
no way.
happen.
Yeah. John would say there are things we need to have and things we want to have.
Exactly. Yes. So one thing I think, again, you always say, oh, this shouldn't be that hard to do. But I would like to see the ability to either filter or somehow identify when a course has a driving range associated with it. So that when I fire up GSPro and I download a course, I can say, oh, look, that course, because it has a little icon next to it, has a driving range. So I'm not going to go to the driving range in local practice. I'm just going to load up that course and go because the driving range is on the course.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love
otherwise
that.
you don't know until you load it up and you see head to the range, right?
Yep. I love a quick glance to be like, yep, I want to play this course and it has a driving range, so I'm going to warm up on that driving range.
Yes. So
yep,
that would be option one. Now you when we talked about this in pre-show, expanded on this by saying, hey, I want the ability that if someone builds a driving range, when you go into practice and there's the driving range in
Correct.
practice, maybe when you load up driving range, all the driving ranges within GS Pro are listed there that you can pick one, right?
Correct. I don't want the driving range. The driving range only. I'm not talking about the specific course
Right,
ranges. Okay. I want to
right.
be clear. I'm talking about I'm making this up. I have built a night only driving range, right? We've got a couple, I think there's 5 or 6 different driving ranges in the
Yeah,
thing. I want those to be listed under practice, where when I click driving range, it will give me a choice. I can choose the standard, I can choose the night range, I can choose the mountain range, whatever. And like, I would love to see us have 20 different driving ranges to use
yeah,
versus them all being just stacked up with courses, because you don't know they're there.
yeah. Or like even like something like Riverwalk, maybe like the barge driving
Yep.
range could just be in there, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep, for sure.
Or Vegas golf.
Or Vegas golf. We should play. Steve needs to cue up like some like Grim Reaper music, or like a toast. We should do a toast to Vegas golf.
Yeah, or what's you pour a little out for Vegas golf.
Pour a little out for the tears. Like I mean So here's to you, Vegas golf. We will miss you.
Yeah. All right, and then one which I don't. This would be a really good to have, and this is me sticking up for the Patreon guys. And
Yeah,
someone
yeah,
actually wrote to me about this, and it would be great if we could do it. Was somehow do an authentication for course servers, because I think what's happening is someone wrote to me is that people will sign up for a Patreon,
yeah,
TechBud, RunPud,
yeah.
Pac-Man, Golf Boy, sign up for a month, they get the address of the server, put that in,
And they drop.
and they drop, but they have the server address now.
Yep.
So some way, and I was thinking, I'm just throwing spitballing stuff. Maybe somehow link it to an SGT account. Now, maybe you don't have to be enrolled in SGT, but I still have an SGT account. It's not active, but like somehow link that to the course server. I don't know, but it'd be great to kind of allow these guys to boot people
Yeah.
that are no longer subscribers, right?
Yeah, I think that's the downside of trying to use the Patreon to do what they're doing, which is the onus is on the Patreon guys to actually change their server address, but they
But
don't want to do it so often that they piss off their Patreon
exactly,
subscribers, right?
yeah,
And if they only change it once a quarter and somebody signs up for a month and they're getting basically a couple months of free use for not, I mean, it sucks. I
yeah,
don't know the right. I love the ask. I don't know how to solve it, but I love the ask.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think it's right.
put it out there. And then the other one that had now this next one is one of those things I don't ever expect it to happen, and we're just having fun, which is I go out with the guys. Have you ever played chips on golf?
I have.
Okay, which is just implement a game called Chips for GS
Chips.
Pro. So
Yep.
the idea, if you haven't played Chips, is they have all these like poker chips, and they all have
Yep.
a different thing on them. One is if you get a birdie, you get the chip. Then the next person that gets a birdie gets the chip. Well, you have all these different chips, and at the end, the person with the most chips
Most chips
wins.
wins.
So just be able to play instead. A new scoring method would be the chip game, and
I
which
love it.
is
I think it'd be fun.
yeah. So sand chip, tree chip. So if you hit a tree, so if it hits a tree collider, you get the tree chip. Um,
I think
ladies,
there's a ton of game side implementation that would
yeah.
require on this to track all that, like water trip. You got to hit in the water, right? Duff
And
chip.
again, I'm not one of the GS Pro developers, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't think this would be easy to implement. But one day when they're bored.
Is that a chip for triple bogey? Is TV chip is a trip for chip for
Yes,
triple bogey?
triple bogey.
Which means if you don't make, you're putting for an 8 or 9.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yep.
Oi. Oi.
And
I don't like
then
that game. We
deep
do
deep rough
on our
hero, like if you hit like two in a row in the deep rough.
Yep. We do prop bets when we do our guys golf trip, and there's always a bunch of good prop bets and a bunch of bullshit prop bets. And one's like, how many trees can you hit?
Yeah,
One is the most 7 irons you can hit on a and
yeah.
Like the guy who's out, the guy who was like, I'm already on track to shoot at 95. There's no,
Yes.
I'm just gonna go for all the prop bets because I want to get as much.
Yep.
I think we had a guy who played the entire back nine on the 7-iron, right? Including
Yeah.
putting because he just wanted to max all of his prop bets.
Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I love this idea. I think this would be great. I
Yeah.
love fun games like this.
Maybe someday, years from now.
Yeah.
I hope someday that they do this years from now, and we can look back and say, "Yay, they finally did it! Yay!"
Hey, we got T boxes coming in small. T
Yeah,
markers
you
coming
never
in
know.
smaller.
You
So
never know.
You never know. Yeah, they're awesome though. The developers are awesome. So
Yes. And then our post of the week. Oh, that didn't build out like we thought, but
that's all right. They go together.
It's our post of the
fine.
week. They know. So it's just one that you pulled in.
I had to bring this one in because I like this. First off, you guys are awesome because you're putting this stuff into our channel
Yes.
on the Discord. So
they're making it hard for us because we talk about this stuff with them, and then I kind of feel like, well, I'm not going to use it in the show. We've kind of burnt the bridge.
We already kind of talked about it, but this one is worth show material though because this one was so good, and I think it was it Soupy who posted the video, right?
Yeah.
And the video was a find, man. Like Soupy, you're a hero for finding this video, so I love it. And this guy, and I probably didn't need to block his name because like his video is great, and he did. I think it's a parody video of DPC Sodgrass. Like, it's so great. And I think the video is very well done, and I think it did a great job showcasing that new amazing fantasy course that's probably one of the best courses in GSPro. And then the comments start coming in.
Just, I love how people think they've got you. Like, this guy's like, look, dude, I don't know if you're aware, but this is a real course. It's actually called DPC Sodgrass, if you haven't heard of it. And he's got the inside scoop because he knows that because of all the lawsuits, that's why it got taken down.
He's on the inside.
Yes.
Let me prove to you how inside I am by sharing with you this knowledge I have of why it was taken down.
And I like the people that it clearly says DPC. It's totally different.
It's totally different. And I feel like everybody is being completely sarcastic on the replies.
Yes. And even the guy who did the video is like, I'll have to check DPC Sawgrass out. Thank you very much.
I think the comments went on for 20 more comments, and they're hysterical. They just make me laugh. And I just love this. I actually honesty hour here. We'll do our little honesty hour here. I went to bed the night this was posted laughing. I was laying in bed watching TV and started chuckling over this post right here because it was so goddamn funny. They were so serious about no, dude. It's TV. It's a real course. I know because I am on the inner circle.
There were also a couple. We didn't put it in here, but there were Eagles and Birdies had a couple good ones.
Eagles and Birdies, he's awesome. He has some good ones.
Yes.
The other one too that I didn't put in that we should have put in was which one was it? It was the one-word answer. Nope.
Adam.
Amache put in the nope.
No.
I thought that was brilliant. Nope. Oh, do you want more info? I'm not giving it to you. Nope. Sorry. I use that at work. Today, as a matter of fact. Somebody asked me a question, and it went on and on and on and on and on, like this. Blah, 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 blah. I think I went and made a sandwich, had a cigarette, and came back, and they were still asking the question. And they were like, so what do you think? And my answer was, nope.
Nope.
That was it.
Thanks for playing.
And then they said, would you like to expand on that? I said, nope. It's so good.
Now, let me see here. So this is not our last slide.
Yeah, I'm afraid here. You told me there was something that you had put in that I haven't seen, and I honestly have not seen. And
So
just so you guys all know, he hid it from me in pre-show.
yeah, I hid it from you. And the reason I did this, and it's not, I mean, horrible, but it's going to be a little fun, is that
Uh-oh.
you guys are so good at like finding these posts, and then you post them, and we have fun in the B2B chat about them. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, we played this out. I can't use it anymore. But there was
Uh-oh.
one this week that was so good. I was like, I got to do something with this.
Okay.
So I just basically took up to me the best post this week, and I reformatted it into Family Feud.
I love when we do Family Feud. What was the last Family
No,
Feud
last
we did?
time it was
Oh, it was Wheel of
the
Fortune.
Wheel of Boredom.
Wheel of Boredom, correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
I lost my video for some reason. Hold on a second.
Are you going to be Steve Harvey?
Yes.
There you go. Can you be Steve Harvey? Because I love Steve Harvey and I love Family Feud. So.
Yes. So yeah, I'll be Steve Harvey. You're the contestant. Now, oh shoot, this actually isn't Family Feud. I'm sorry. It's Facebook Feud.
Do I need to go? Hold on. Let me ask you this question. Since you're doing this to me real time and I have no clue what the hell is coming next, I'm going to go back to you real time, okay?
Okay.
Do I need to go into Discord right now and get the rest of my family to come join in and help me on the Facebook Feud?
You know something would be. Should we pause the video and see if anyone wants
Let's
to jump in right
pause
now?
and see if anybody
Okay,
wants to jump in right
hold on.
now.
Let me go into
Hold
OBS
on.
here. I'm gonna pause. Here we go. Well, apparently we're not as popular as we thought. So we
or everybody else has plans on a Friday night.
yeah, I mean it is midnight.
Nothing better to do.
But we did get Pac-Man on here. So
just so everybody understands what we did, we literally paused what we were doing because I have no clue what we're doing here. And we went to the Discord channel and asked for people that were online to come join us. We got Pac-Man, which we love. Thank you, Pac-Man. You're awesome. It's funny.
I have nothing to do.
You'll see. I'm not sure what's worse, that you have nothing to do or that you were actually up at this time of night and you were talking to a potential customer.
It's nothing to do. So here, I'll come on. I got nothing to do.
Pac-Man, by the way, before we go into our Family Feud thing here, just so you know, as you watch this episode when it comes out, I do mention that I think you and I played 7 courses together this week. And Master and I have played like 1. Like I'm cheating on him with you. So I've got you and him and I all in the same. Yeah, he's upset now. So
since I'm so upset, I'm putting him through this. And
yes, I see that.
You okay. as the mistress. Yeah.
So I have no clue what's going on. Pac-Man has no clue what's going on, and you are running the show.
And Pac-Man, just so you know, we were at the post of the week segment, and basically what has been happening is you guys are so good at like capturing all these posts of the week. I don't want to like just take what you guys give me and put it back in here, so I'm going to like manipulate it a little bit and have a little fun. So here we are.
Sounds good, man.
So Family Feud is going to become. Here we go. Facebook Feud. Okay.
Hey, are you copyrighted to use that logo? We may be taken down.
Yeah, we might get a takedown notice on that, right? Yeah, okay. So Facebook Feud. So I have no idea how we're really going to do this with 3 people, but we're going to kind of wing it. So here we go. So we surveyed. Let me move our video down here. Someplace. I definitely want to. I think this will work right here, right there. So Family Feud. I surveyed 200 people. Okay.
Pac-Man go first. He's our guest.
Well, here's what I have an idea what we're going to do here.
Okay.
And we can even maybe keep score a little bit, so you guys are kind of competing against each other. I went out and surveyed 200 people. I asked them a question, and that question was, come on, what can I get for $80? Me. So here, okay. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna have you guys both give me an answer, okay? and the guy who gives me like the best of the will then get to go again. Okay, now I have to get Mashy did chime in. He didn't. Pac-Man.
Do we throw our answers out at the same time, or do we each take our turn getting our answers?
I think I'm going to take one from both of you, and we'll see who gets the best one. So Mashy, since you kind of like did the me thing, this is very official. I'll let you answer first, and then Pac-Man will go, and then we'll release those two and see who did better. So. Mashy, what's your answer?
Oh, C. Simgolf just joined in too. So
did he really? Is he here?
Yeah, he's in. Okay.
I knew he would have nothing better to do either.
He's got nothing better to do on a Friday night. So C, you got to just carry along. We're not going to re-explain it. We're playing. Pac-Man and I are completely blind. We have no clue what we're doing here. Master has thrown this together, and now you're in the mix. So,
right.
I'm going first. What can I get for $80? Blowjob.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
You're going there first?
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. And then Pac-Man, what is your answer? What are you going to go with?
1 hour one-on-one session with Bob the Builder.
Good. Okay. Good. All right. And CE Simgolf, what are you gonna put as what can you get for $80?
I'm gonna go get a nice 15-year of Redbreast whiskey.
Oh, wow, what a good answer! Wow,
okay,
I like that.
All right,
okay.
so here's what we're gonna do is I'll reveal first of all whether they're valid answers or not, and the person that wins, okay, here will get the next chance to go. Okay.
Okay, I love it.
So, Mashy, you said BJ. Now,
or in that realm.
Okay.
Of things.
So I'm going to have to go to the judges here, and judges, can you say what about? Show me
the judge.
Show me BJ. Well, yeah, we get syphilis. So you got 30 points on the BJ.
It.
So because I guess maybe you can get syphilis from the BJ.
I don't know, and I hope to never know, but okay.
Okay. And then Pac-Man, you went with an hour-long tutorial or tutorial session with Bob the Builder.
Bob the Builder.
And those who know, if you know, you know, right? So
yeah.
let me go to the judges there, and they say, sorry, that was not on the board. And then CE Simgolf, he went with a bottle of Redbreast here.
Redbreast whiskey, yeah.
And judges, show me a bottle of Redbreast. Ooh, number one.
Yeah, I should have gone with that. Nice.
So he got 50 points for that. So that means back to you, CE Simgolf. So you get to pick another option up here. So what do you want to go with?
Another one for $80.
Yeah.
Oh man. Let's go with about 2 square feet of new tile for my bathroom.
Judges, show me
2 square feet.
Show me.
That's some expensive tile, dude.
Show me 2 square feet of tile in CE Simgolf's bathroom. Sorry, no. Now, let's see. Now, Pac-Man, you didn't get so Mashy did get syphilis or BJ up there. So Mashy,
I did not get syphilis. Let's be clear.
Okay, so we'll let you. We'll let you pick the next VD.
Me? It's my turn.
Yes,
okay.
It's your turn. Yes. So what do you?
I'm gonna get my mind out of the gutter and say I can get a really good Unity package for my course on 50% off sale.
Judges, can we say Unity package? Dang it. Okay.
I knew that wasn't there.
All right, so let's go to Pac-Man. So Pac-Man, what do you think? What can you get for $80?
Oh, I think that's like the going rate for buying 500 YouTube subscribers.
Oh, I like your thought. I love it.
And that's, well, I'm out of X's, but that's a no.
That's an X. That's 4. You can't have 4 X's. It goes to the
No.
team.
And I think at this point, I'm not sure if you guys are going to get any of these. So should we just
Yeah, let's go.
release the
Yeah,
answers? Okay.
Yeah, yep.
So if you guys don't know, so I did base these on, which was when this guy posted on Facebook.
Yeah,
you
on
might,
Facebook.
there
yeah.
was one really good response from one guy on there, and one of his responses was,
Nope.
oops,
Nope.
what
Nope,
happened?
no,
Oh,
no.
no.
God,
Oh man.
you're fired.
Yeah, I'm Steve. Let's see. There was that one and this one. So one of them was 16 Wendy's big bags.
Yep. I saw
That was one.
Yep.
Another one was 4 ounces of good weed.
Good weed. I saw that one on there. I thought about going the weed route because I knew that was a Facebook post.
And number 2 was a steakhouse.
Oh. Good answer.
Oh, these were his real answers. Yeah, I
Good
remember
answer.
that. Yeah.
So that's what. So I guess the clue should have been there. Since this was a Facebook post of the week. So. Yep. But see, Sim Golf,
one?
Pac-Man. No, that was it. So if it's
good.
popular, maybe we'll
good.
do this every week.
I love it. Thank you guys for jumping in. That was awesome. That was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And that is actually the end of the show too. So guys, thanks for joining so late. Pac-Man, CE Sim Golf, Mashy.
Yep. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
And
see you guys later.
Yeah, everybody have a great week. See ya.
Have a great week. See ya. Good night.
Good night.